change. Don't make me change. Don't make me change. It's my culture. Don't make me change. Don't make me change. Don't make me change. Ha! It's my culture. Don't make me change. Don't make me change. Don't make me.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day to all beings, nature, and everyone anywhere in the world. Welcome to the Mama Africa show for Africans in the diaspora, USA, Europe, Asia, wherever you are. We bring something beautiful, talking about our strive, thrive, and hustle in the diaspora. This show comes to you every Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. live on YouTube. Our goal is to build, reignite, and reinvigorate each other in the diaspora and beyond. My name is Anna Mwalago, aka Mama Africa, and I am so blessed to be on the mic with you today. Hey!
But just because my tongue rolls in a different way, that don't mean I'm dumb. And see, yes, comprende English, because I probably speak and know more English than you. Hey!
Today, we have a show that is hot like fire, like pepper soup. Hey, I have this beautiful lady with me here, Nany Conde. Welcome, Nany.
Welcome.
And we are going to discuss so many things, Nany. We are going to discuss how did you come to America? How did you make it in America? You know, the wahala, the troubles of living in the USA. How did you survive? How are you striving? What are your challenges? And we also introduce new diaspora music. And of course, we have the mother tongue section. Nany, be ready. I want to hear some Creole and some Mandingo, where we speak in our mother tongue, sharing a proverb from any part of the African continent. But first, let's go to our news around the world. And before I introduce my guest, you know, we always go to the news around the world. And, you know, I don't know where to start. It's some interesting news. But I want to start with Sudan. They say Sudan could soon have 10 million internally displaced people, according to the UN agency. And this is really sad news. I don't know if many people know, but we've been having a war in Sudan. And yes, we hear about the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, but I think we should also highlight the war that's going on in Sudan. They say the number of people internally displaced in Sudan due to conflict could soon exceed 10 million. The United Nations Migration Agency said on Friday in the world's largest displacement crisis. Fighting broke out in the capital Khartoum in April 2023 and quickly spread across the country, reigniting ethnic bloodshed in the western Darfur region and forcing millions to flee. And so this is definitely something that it is sad, and we are praying for the people, and we are also asking that the United Nations and all the countries could please end this war and help us to end this war. In other news, I want to mention about a sister from Kenya who passed on, and her name is Warrior Njambi Kokai. And I think I definitely, because number one, she's a sister like me, and also I wanted to highlight the fact that she died because of endometriosis. And when you hear something like that, it shocks you, because, you know, first, before even I go further, Warrior Njambi Kokai was a reggae DJ. She was an MC. She was a journalist. She was a politician. She was a celebrity in Kenya. And she had suffered with endometriosis unknowingly since she was 13, because I was listening to her interview. And when she found out that she had endometriosis, I am not so sure about the age. She was at least around maybe in her 20s. So she had to get surgeries done, because before then they had misdiagnosed her. Can you imagine being misdiagnosed over 10 times with different sicknesses, not knowing what really ails you? And finally, when she was correctly diagnosed, she was in her late 20s. She had to come to the United States to get the surgeries done. And her endometriosis was so bad that it had and basically a lot of people don't know about what endometriosis is, but it is the uterus lining, you know, growing outside of the uterus, and it had grown to her lungs. Can you imagine? And I am passionate about this, and I talk about this because I myself, I've been diagnosed with fibroids. I've had more than 2 surgeries of fibroids, and also endometriosis. And even though they have never correctly said that you have endometriosis, but because of the symptoms, they say, okay, you might have endometriosis. And it's so for me, it touched home. It was really sad. I watched the interviews, I thought about her, and I just want to dedicate this show to Warrior Njambiko Kai. Even though I don't know her, I feel her, because really, when it comes, I never thought I would hear somebody die of endometriosis. And I just want the people in Kenya and many developing countries to pay attention to women's health. It's so important. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a sad story, right? Because here in the United States, endometriosis is something that can be easily controlled. And for women, all of us are at risk.
Yes.
Everybody who has a uterus is at
Yes,
risk. So
yes.
it really, it's close to home
Yes,
for all of us.
and don't ignore, especially in the diaspora, in the developing. Don't ignore when your young kids or your girls at 10, 12, 11 start telling you that they are experiencing some pain with their menstrual cycle. It's something you should, because as I have done so much research about this, that I know that they say menstrual cycle should not be painful. It's a myth when we say it is supposed to be painful. So if it is painful, there is a problem. And so I really wanted to say that, let's, because of this story, which is sad, may her soul rest in peace. At the same time, please, 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 let us educate ourselves, and let us not ignore when our young girls, even older girls, and us are suffering from women health issues. Let's do something about it. And of course, on a lighter tone, let me tell you about this. A lady gave birth at the Golden Corral. She didn't even know she was pregnant. She went from the bathroom. She told her parents they had gone actually for a party. And this is in somewhere in Arkansas. Yes, they had gone for a party with her family, and she started experiencing pain. And guess what? She went to the bathroom, and her mother was like, "What's going on?" 10 minutes, she's not back. 15 minutes, she goes to check. The woman is screaming. She's like, "Hey!"
Oh,
and
wow.
then all of a sudden she said, it is out. Looking inside the toilet, the baby is inside there. She was 37 weeks. True story. I tell you, true story. She was 37 weeks. She said she did not even know she was pregnant. Her name is Tavia Woodfolk. And they, do you know what they did? They ended up calling the baby. They didn't call her They didn't call the baby Golden Corral. But the baby is called. What's the baby's name? I saw somewhere. Yes, Corral is his middle name. So it is Tamar something, and then Corral, and then Woodfolk. And you know what? We just say we celebrate that another baby is born. We're going to be coming back, but right now we are taking a short break with the music, and we're coming back. But let me just say this. One more thing. Oh, Lord, I have to talk about this before we go on our break. Hey, can you imagine if you are given 1 month of free Verizon files? Like basically no paying of any subscription. That's happened in Nigeria. A Nigerian Consumer Tribunal fined the local unit of Africa's biggest pay TV company, Multi-Choice Group. It was fined, I think, a lot of money, millions of naira, on Friday for contempt of court, and ordered the company to offer its subscribers 1 month of free service.
Wow.
That's when you say Christmas has come early. Well, with that, he's showing a short break. We come back with our guest, Nany Conde, all the way from Guinea. And yes, before we go, we have our second song, and I wanted just to mention the song is Kipenzi. And Kipenzi, if we don't hear, we're going to play Asante, one or either of the songs, because this is my new song from my new album, and the album is Upendo. And Upendo in Swahili means love. So I when I write a lot about my music, it's different things. I always give it a title. My first album came out, I think, 2011, and it was a poetry CD. It was called Ukweli, the truth of knowing what it is about in America. Ukweli means truth in Swahili. Then the second album was Haki. You know, when you live in the diaspora and you experience the things that we didn't know happen, the injustices, when you think about, what you left back home, and also the disparity gap that is so widened. And so I wrote this, the second album was Haki, because I wanted to let people know justice. Without justice, there is no peace.
Absolutely.
And then when my son was born, I wrote this third, I came up with my third album, which is called Shukrani, giving thanks to God. for having a wonderful, getting up, just giving birth, as it's very tough because I know of infertility and how, it affects a lot of women. And so I just wanted to, to write up, come up with songs about children. So it was a children's album which made it to the first round of the Grammys.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So this one, at the end you go through ups and downs, and my fourth album now is Upendo, and I wrote many of these songs. We went to the studio with my band, Afro Floetry Band. We had these wonderful songs, and Kipenzi means my love. Asante means thank you, and thanking God, because we hear of stories of people who are in their who die quite early in life, and sometimes we are so ungrateful. We want this, we want that, but being alive,
As a gift.
is a gift,
Yep.
Being alive is a gift. Being here today, having, food, having, shelter, clothing, simple things, it's really a blessing. So I don't know what you can say about the being grateful to God, Miss Nany.
I think gratitude is everything.
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite quotes is, the more grateful you are, the more blessings you receive.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I think, gratitude is everything.
Uh-huh.
Without God,
Yes.
we wouldn't be here.
Won't be here.
And also I think the faith in God help you make it through things.
Yes,
When tough
yes.
times come and you have faith that
Yes.
He's behind you and
Yes.
things are gonna get better. There's
Uh-huh.
always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
So absolutely.
And the gratefulness is like, sometimes I was telling, when we had our last show last time, I was saying sometimes we talk about being grateful. We all talk about being grateful. But what happens is that when something happens, we forget. We complain, We say, man, I don't think, this and that. There's always something we have to say. But when you think about that, there are people who have less than what you have, but they are grateful. You are ashamed for saying that you are not grateful. So this song, which one is this we are going to play? And this is Kipenzi, which means my love. Check it out on my YouTube page. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Mama Africa Anna Kipenzi. Can we talk now?
Oh, penzi langu ni chungu, lasumbua kama homa, na ninapolala na kuota moyoni. Furaha ulionipa yanitoa machozi, usiku na mchana na kuwaza moyoni. Oh, kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, ni mimi wako baby, mimi nakupenda. Oh, kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, hebu tuelewane, tuache kisirani. Oh, kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, ni mimi wako darling, bado nakuenza. Oh, nakumbuka awali, penzi letu lilichacha, lilikuwa asali na kukuwa kupaka. Tulijenga zetu ngome na kupanga kupangua maisha ya hapo kesho kama mke na mume. Oh, kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, ni mimi wako baby, mimi nakupenda. Oh, kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, hebu tuelewane, tuache kisirani. Oh, kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, ni mimi wako darling, bado nakuenza. kama mke na mume yameshakuwa wazi, kama tulivyotaka, japo shida za maisha yasumbua kama chawa, penzi letu ni daima kama tulivyotaka. Oh kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, ni mimi wako baby, mimi nakupenda. Oh kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, hebu tuelewane, tuache kisirani. Oh kipenzi changu we, oh mpenzi we, ni mimi wako darling, bado nakuenza.
All right, and that was Asante, and I know that was not Asante. You see, now I'm confused. That was Kipenzi, and that means my love. And I am so excited for this show, man. And when I decided to do this show is because I just wanted to talk to people. I I just wanted to also know your people's journey, and then another thing is I just wanted to give information out there to my friends, to my family, to immigrants, to people in the diaspora from all parts of the world about what others have done and how we can be inspired, how we can support each other. And so today I have here Nany Conde, Miss Conde. She hails from Guinea, and I think when we talk about people's country, it's important because we want to make sure that they know that this show is also diverse. And Miss Nany is a licensed financial professional and a medical practitioner committed to helping people build a strong financial foundation and optimal health through a holistic approach to financial planning, financial literacy, and health literacy. She is passionate about educating people and helping them maximize their retirement planning portfolios and social security benefits, focusing specifically on working closely with her clients to increase longevity in both their health and wealth. As a registered social security analyst, financial educator, and an insurance agent, Nany assists clients in implementing the best claiming strategies from the previous options available to them. She collaborates with clients to help them learn ways to diversify their retirement portfolio using the best financial tools for their situation, ensuring they avoid outliving their retirement funds. And I also want to ask to add that Miss Nany, she is she is a physician assistant. You also have your own business. You are an entrepreneur. Yes, you have a business that caters on health and wealth with Nany. And also you have worked with a private telehealth clinic focused on weight loss and chronic disease management. You are an avid volunteer, a treasurer with the Association for Guineans in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. You are also the ambassador of peace of the Universal Peace and Foundation, and you are focused mainly on financial literacy and health literacy. Welcome to, one more thing I want to say, and which you have to tell me. You are a registered social security analyst. What is that? Welcome to the Miss Nany. Yes.
Thank you so much for having me, Anna. It's so great to be here with you and using this platform to spread education, financial literacy, and health literacy to our community. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming. And I just don't want you to waste any time. You are from Guinea.
Yes, ma'am.
But you came to this country at what age?
I was 17 years old.
17?
Yes.
Wow. And when you came to this country compared to where you were from, tell me if you can remember the culture shock.
So the biggest culture shock I had was when I landed in the United States and we came out of the airport, I saw trees. I thought there was no trees in the U.S. For some reason in my head, I just thought it was I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was expecting.
Yes.
But I saw dirt on the, I saw a forest. I was shocked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was my first shock. I was like, so this is just like anywhere.
Yes. You thought you were going to a place like, you have never seen before where it will be everything electronic. like in a robotic
exactly,
experience.
like in the space or something. I just had some vision in my head, but it
Yes.
wasn't just real life.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't even. I have so many culture shocks. I think for me, my culture shock was, the way we cross back our roads back in Africa, right? You look left,
Yeah.
you look right, then
Yeah.
you
Then
run.
you run.
Yes. When I was just about to do that, this lady said, "No, ma'am, you got to press the button." I'm like, "What? You press the button for what?" Eh?
Yeah.
She's like, "There." So I press. I hear, "You may now use the walkway." I say, "America." Hey!
Welcome to
Hey!
America.
I was so impressed. I said, even the road is talking to me. How the road know? I'm about to cross this road. I was excited. And then even another culture shock for me was the chicken. Back in my country, honestly, we only had chicken for Easter and Christmas. Chicken was the most expensive thing when I was growing up. I don't know about your country.
And then the funny thing is,
Uh-huh.
in my country, one chicken could feed the whole family.
Uh-huh.
And here you get a whole bucket of one chicken to yourself.
To yourself.
That was a big culture shock to me as well.
One chicken, you have to cut it in small pieces so that everyone can eat. Here they tell you a whole, they even ask you want a quarter, half, or full. Hey!
Yeah.
Can you imagine the first time you are told like that? Me, I will say I want full.
Like, is this
Let
all
me,
me?
let me experience what I never experienced. How can I be sharing my chicken all the time? Now I have chicken to myself. I'll be very excited. So those were the things. When I went to, you are waiting for this chicken in back home. You are being told, the chicken, when you see it, this chicken is like a pet. They fatten it every day for Christmas. Can you imagine?
Exactly.
But now you come here and anytime you can walk into Popeyes and eat chicken. My favorite restaurant was Popeyes. Every Friday I was there. And for that number 2, the steak, what is it called? The thigh, the drumstick, and leg. I ate the chicken. I can't even continue with
I
that
remember,
story.
I think it was Coming to America.
Yes.
I saw that back home, and this guy had a big bucket of
Yes.
fried chicken.
Yes.
And that was one of the first things that I wanted to
eat.
when I came to the United States.
You are like, let me get my hands on this Kentucky whatever. Let me eat it. I mean, we have so many culture shocks, coming from different countries. And then the funniest thing is that as Africans, we all have the same culture shocks. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
People who come from different parts, maybe in Europe, and maybe you come from Germany, another one from, maybe, let's say England. They might have different, but us is the same. Why? Because African culture is one culture.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I want to emphasize, because wherever we are as African people, we could be Kenyan, we could be Nigerian, we could be whatever, we bring the same culture. And so that's so important that we are always one, even though sometimes we want to separate ourselves from each other. And so my other question I want to ask you, and let's talk about it. You are a nurse, okay? First, but now you are a physician assistant. So you went into the medical, channel. How? Tell me more about that.
So when I came to the U.S. in high school,
Uh-huh.
my high school had a nursing assistant
Yes.
program.
Uh-huh.
So I did the nursing assistant program there. So when I was going through college,
Mhm.
that was my side hustle. I
Yes.
was able to work
Uh-huh.
as a certified nursing assistant and geriatric nursing assistant,
Uh-huh.
which for me was very helpful because it allowed me to kind of start at the bottom of the healthcare chain
Yes.
and work my way up.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, this is where most of the hands-on healthcare happens.
Yes.
So shout out to the CNAs and
Yes.
the GNAs
Yes.
because the higher you go up in the medical chain, the less physical work you do.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
all of the physical work is there.
Uh-huh.
So that gave me an opportunity. While I was in college, I was working in hospice, private
Uh-huh.
duty, nursing homes.
Uh-huh.
But my dream was always to be a provider,
Okay.
go to medical school eventually.
Mhm.
When I came, that was a little complicated
Uh-huh.
because of financial issues.
Yes.
So I found out about a PA program, which
Okay.
as a physician assistant, you are a certified practitioner.
Yes.
We are trained with the medical model
Uh-huh.
to prescribe medications, diagnose, and manage our patients.
Yes.
So that was as close
Yes.
to MD as I can be at the time. So
Yes,
I
uh-huh.
went for that, and eventually I loved it because of the flexibility.
Yes.
I can do internal medicine, hospital medicine. Now I do emergency medicine. You can do surgery.
Yes.
So there's flexibility to move around.
Yes.
I get bored easily, so I like to try different things.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I just feel like it was the perfect career for me, and I've been a PA now for about 14 years.
Wow. And did you was when you were growing up, was it one of those things that you wanted to be a doctor or in the medical field, or was that your dream?
For as far as I can remember.
Oh wow.
Like even when I would play with my cousins, I was always the healthcare provider.
Yes.
As far as I can remember, I can't remember doing anything else other than being in healthcare.
It's true that it's good that you shout out to the CNA, because many African people, when we come to America, that is the channel many of us are taking. You need to be a nurse. You need to be this. I remember, when I came here and I was living with some relatives of mine, and they were like, "Oh, now you need to be a nurse," and that was not what I want to be. Ever since I was a child, I've always wanted to be a performing artist. I've been performing. I've been entertaining. So when they one day they decided they want to show me the experience, and honest, true story, they gave me a nurse coat, those white ones, and told me to go with them to work that day. And so, it was weird because it was early 2000. I guess, people were like cool. Before 9/11, things, were okay. So I went in there, and the lady said, telling this patient who was an old lady, "Oh, here, this is Miss Anna. She comes from Kenya. This lady, the old lady, I think she had Alzheimer's. She said, go back to Africa." I was so scared. I was like, huh? All of a sudden, I'm sitting over there, and the lady is now my friend, my relative's friend. She's wearing a gold chain. And I guess this lady is old. She has Alzheimer's. She's sick. And then all of a sudden, she's trying to feed her, and the lady just pulled the chain, the gold chain. Do you know what happened? That's what I said. Never will I do this job. This lady slapped the old woman.
Oh, my God. Well, reflex, maybe. She was...
That reflex will get you fired now.
Oh,
that
yes, it
reflex
would.
will get you fired.
Yes, it
and
would.
I was like, there's no way. I was like, no, I need to go. But see, the thing is, yes, you're right. It's a reflex, but it made me realize that you have to love this job to do it.
Absolutely.
If you don't do it with love, you will get frustrated at work. And so I know sometimes as immigrants, we do things that is not what we want, but I always say no condition is permanent. You are doing it for the time being. At some point, something will come that you love. And for you, that's what you love. So I wanted to ask you now, from being a nurse to a doctor, now you're doing financial literacy. Tell us, how did you get there?
So, again, my passion. I seem to follow my passion in everything I do. The financial literacy, I got in because of my own lack of financial knowledge. I went through a period where my mom was sick. I stopped working, went to take care of her and friends. She passed away. So
Sorry
the whole
about that.
6 months I wasn't working. So I basically lived off of my savings and credit cards.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I was in trouble,
Yes.
So even though I'm making money, but I had so much debt, I started educating myself, and I was like, well, I've been making good money for 7 years, but I don't see it. Like, I need to educate myself and learn more. And I was talking to a colleague of mine at work, and she referred me to a financial literacy campaign. So I walked into the office, talked to Ms. Rhoda. She is my mentor. So, and basically she broke it down. She educated me on things that I didn't learn in school. I didn't learn anywhere else.
Wait, can you break it down for us? Right
yes, ma'am.
Let's just break it. Don't tell us what Ms. Rhoda said. Do what Ms. Rhoda told you.
I love it.
Yes.
So basically, she did a personal financial strategy with me. And on this personal financial strategy, it asks you what your goals are. Your short-term goals, less than 1 year goal, 1 to 5 year goal, midterm, and 5 year plus goal.
Yes.
Then it asks you how much money you make every month.
And this goal, does it have to be a financial goal, or it can be anything?
No, it can be any goal.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you say your income and also your expenses. Then you'll see how much you have at the end of every month.
Yes.
So discretionary spending. At the end of every month, I was supposed to have $2,000 left over after all my bills. I didn't know where the money was going.
Wow. At the end, even after You've calculated
Mortgage,
uh-huh.
childcare,
Yeah.
everything.
And how about eating out?
Eating out,
All that.
all the bad habits.
Movies, everything. You're supposed to
Shopping.
have 2,000 that you need to. Is that gonna be savings or just?
That was supposed to be left,
Uh-huh.
but I couldn't find it.
Yes.
And the reason why I couldn't find it was just mismanagement,
Yes.
spending it and paying off debt.
Yeah.
So that helped me become more disciplined. You know,
Yes.
the following month, I actually tracked my spending
Mhm.
and try to find that money. And
Yes.
eventually, when I found it,
Uh-huh.
I started to put it, you know, in investments and
Uh-huh.
different places.
Uh-huh.
It also helps you figure out your insurable need.
Yes.
I have 3 kids,
Yes.
a lot of responsibilities.
Mhm.
The only insurance I had was the 1-year salary term policy at work because I didn't have the education. Even
Yes.
though I'm a healthcare provider, I see the importance of insurance.
Yeah.
I didn't have the education.
Yes.
I needed $2 million in coverage. I
Yes.
only had like 100 and something.
Yes.
So that was a big eye opener.
Yes.
Also retirement.
Uh-huh.
So for retirement, you need at least 20 times your income
Yes.
before you retire.
Uh-huh.
I was not even thinking retirement when I
Wow.
started working as
Yes.
a PA. I was 24.
Yes.
So retirement to me was an eternity.
yeah.
So I wasn't doing anything.
Uh-huh.
So those education, every time she says something, I'm like, oh my God,
Uh-huh.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
Nobody told me this.
Yes.
Then I told her, well, if I don't know this, I
Uh-huh.
know I'm very inquisitive. I
Yeah.
love to learn. So if
Yes.
I don't know this, a lot
Uh-huh.
of people around me
Don't know
it either. So I need to figure out, I need to know what you know.
Yes.
What can I do to get more involved?
Yes.
So she told me about the workshops that we have that are free workshops on Zoom. And also told me that I can get licensed and do
Mhm.
what she does and make an extra income. So
Uh-huh.
7 years ago, and the rest is story.
Wow. So the thing is, I like the way you talk about having a plan, and I like the way you talk about saving. But as immigrants, sometimes it's hard for us to save. Why? We have responsibilities not only here but also back at home. So what are the mistakes immigrants make when it comes to money that you can help us out?
Yeah. So one of the biggest mistakes that I myself was making was not paying myself first.
Yes.
One of the things that we have to do is you have to pay yourself first.
Uh-huh.
I know our instinct every month is pay our bills, send money back home, do X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if you don't put anything aside, what if you lose your job?
Uh-huh.
When COVID happened, we all saw what happened, right?
Yes, yeah.
So you have to be able to save. Ideally, you want to save at least 5 to 15%
Uh-huh.
of your income
Yes.
for rainy day.
Yes.
So that if something happens, you can go back to that and take care of your necessities.
Yes.
Help people that you help. So
Yeah.
no matter how small,
Mhm.
every month you should be able to put something aside as an emergency fund so
Uh-huh.
that you can go back to that.
But let me tell you something, and just being honest, I do that, but I chip it. No. The struggle is real. I mean, you put it in, then and I have to do this. So you discipline, my sister. It's not easy.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not. So the way I thought that, actually, there are different accounts. There are different places that you can put your money.
Yeah.
You literally hide your money from yourself.
Okay.
So there are accounts where your money is there, but you can't access it yet. Because when you access it, there are penalties.
Yes.
Or they'll say, okay, so you have 10,000, you can
Yeah.
only take 4,000.
Yeah.
So the other 6,000 is safe.
Yes.
So eventually those type of accounts, for me, that's what's been helpful. So, because I was the same way. I'll
Yes.
have money, somebody calls me about some made up emergency, because
Yes.
sometimes people will call you and just make up
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
But here we have this guilt, feel like you have to help people
Yes.
when you don't have it too.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer that if you give what you don't have, that should be a sin.
Yes.
You don't impress people with your money that you don't have.
Yes.
There are accounts where if you leave it in a regular savings account that you have
Yeah.
access to, it's
Yes.
very easy to
Yes.
take it.
Yeah.
So there are certain accounts that you can put money in that you don't have access to immediately. Some of them you have to wait a few years. So that's a good way to
That's a
kind of
good way,
hide money
yes.
from yourself and let it
Yes.
grow.
Yeah, and also as I say, is discipline. I was telling my mom one day, I said, because sometimes my mom, she lives here, but when she was living back home, sometimes she wouldn't understand. At the same time, we all don't understand. Man, I'm broke this day. I don't have enough. But you see, the thing is this: when she came here and she realized that you have to work so hard, and so when you work day and night, you're doing shifts, you're doing this, you don't have that luxury of just sending money anyhow, anyway, because it starts hurting you a little bit. And so I told her, I said, I like the way Americans do it. Because what Americans do, and it's not only Americans, it's people who have money sense. They're like, yes, I have money, but it is savings. So when I tell you I don't have money, I don't. You might know I have some money, but that is savings money. You understand?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not
Absolutely.
touching that. But for us, I think because also we have been raised in a culture of helping each other, of family, even when you have that savings money because somebody asked, you go back and give. But if you are, I learned from a good friend of mine, she'll be like, Anna, I don't have money. I know he has money, but that's his saving money. That's his money that has already been accounted for. So we have to discipline ourselves with that.
Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
the same way right now. At the end of every month,
Uh-huh.
money is allocated in where it needs to go.
Yes.
And if I say I don't have money, I
Yeah.
literally don't have it.
Uh-huh.
I don't have it to. It went to where it needs to go, and
Go,
I don't have
yes.
access to it.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you
Uh-huh.
have your family. If
Uh-huh.
something happens, the people that you're helping, they can't help you.
Yes.
Who's gonna help your family?
Yes.
You know,
uh-huh.
so it's good to give. It's
Mhm.
good to, and then also, you know, in your budget, that's
Yes.
where you allocate money
for
to
helping
give
people.
to
Yes.
helping people.
Yes.
So
uh-huh.
when you max out that, then
Yeah,
you just wait
that's
until
it.
you have more.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
I always say that. I always say when I get big time money, I'm gonna have an account of just helping people account.
Absolutely.
That's just my helping
Absolutely.
people account.
Yeah.
When that's over, please don't come for me because I ain't got none.
That's it.
And it's interesting you talk about that, about the money and helping. But there's another myth that, and I want you to break it for us today, and that's life insurance. Immigrants in the diaspora do not believe in life insurance because we come with that same concept from back home in our different countries. So somebody will rather, if they pass away, people do the susus, and in Swahili we call them mchangos of the community, than investing in life insurance. Can you
Yeah.
please tell them the importance of investing in life insurance and your kind of insurance? Because I know your kind of insurance is one that's also an investment. You can get something money out of it before you die. Come on, guys, go ahead.
All right. Well, let's break the myth
Yes.
of life insurance.
Yes.
So first of all, the big thing about life insurance is we need to change our thinking around
Yes.
life insurance.
Uh-huh.
Other communities are using life insurance as a way to build generational wealth.
Yes.
I remember someone saying that when a black man dies,
Mhm.
5 children become orphans.
Yes.
When a white man dies, 5 children becomes millionaires.
Yes.
You should have we all have an insurable need.
Mm-hmm.
My insurable need is 5 things. Number 1, if I have any debt,
Yes.
10 times my income,
Uh-huh.
the balance on my mortgage,
Uh-huh.
and education for my kids. So
Yes.
those are the things that I'm responsible for. That's my human value.
Yes.
So I need to replace that in insurance.
Yes.
If that's 500,000, a million, 2 million, that's
Yes.
what I should have at a minimum.
Yes.
So we're afraid of insurance. So then when we die, people are doing GoFundMe, $100 and $200 just to bury us.
Yes.
Whereas we should be leaving at least 100, 200, 300,000 to take care of our family.
Yes.
Number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, a lot of people don't want to get insurance because they're afraid that somebody may kill them for the insurance money. I get that question all the time.
That is the
you know?
crazy thing. And you know the thing is that zip. My mom used to tell me, zip the lip theory. Don't tell nobody you got no life insurance. That
Exactly.
is your personal issue. Yes.
Right. So number 1, you don't have to tell people who's
Yes.
the beneficiary.
No.
Right. You can do your will and
Uh-huh.
have everything in writing.
Yes.
But also number 2, for example, you are an investment for
Uh-huh.
the insurance company.
Yes.
So if you go missing, something happens, everybody's going to be interested to make sure there's no foul play.
Yes.
Your beneficiaries on your insurance policy are
Uh-huh.
going to be the primary suspect.
Yes.
So it's very hard for people to kill you and take your insurance money and get away with it.
Yes.
So that's a big myth that we
Uh-huh.
should dispel.
We have to trust each other.
We
though.
have to trust each other. And I
Yeah.
always say, if you are worried that your children or your spouse is
Yes.
going to kill you for life insurance,
They don't.
what kind of spouse are you
Divorce. Yeah,
marrying?
just
What
you-
kind of children are you raising, right?
yes,
or have it on each other.
Yes.
So, you know,
just go
yeah.
both your own ways.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
uh-huh.
we really need to make sure that we make these financial life insurance conversation comfortable
Yes.
in our communities because
Yeah.
it's very, very important.
But you see, Nany, there's one thing also I learned about your life insurance. Is it the universal or which one is that?
Right. So I guess when you say your life insurance, I feel special.
Yes.
right.
No, yeah,
so
the-
I don't
the
have a
company,
particular life
yes.
insurance, but
The-
just for general life insurance education,
Yes.
there are 2 major types of life insurance.
Yes.
You have term and you
Uh-huh.
have permanent.
Yes.
Term is you get maybe 10-year term, 20-year term. The term expire.
Yes.
If you die, the family give you within the term.
Yes.
The insurance company gives you the money. If you don't die, you renew it. or you lose the money you paid.
Yes.
Then you have permanent policies.
Uh-huh.
Permanent policies are designed to last for until forever. They don't expire.
Yes.
If you reach age 100, then they may cash out and give it to you, but they don't expire.
Yes.
In the permanent policies, you pay a premium
Yes.
that goes towards insurance, and then the other part of the premium goes towards a cash value.
Yes.
Now, this cash value, there are different ways you can do it. In a whole life policy, it's there to take care of the cost of increase. As we get older, life insurance policies go up.
Yes.
So the whole life policies are there for that, to take care of that. So your
Yes.
premium doesn't go up.
Yeah.
Then you have universal policies
Yes.
where you can put a little more
Uh-huh.
extra. So that extra is being credited interest.
Yes.
And that money grows in an account that you
Yes.
can eventually take out
Yes.
to either fund your children's college education. I know people who have put on for down payments for a house.
Houses. Yes.
People who needed money, just take it as a loan or withdrawal to
Yes.
do things that you need with it.
Yes.
So it's like the iPhone version of life insurance, and it still comes with the policy if somebody dies.
Yes.
And the other good thing about it also, it comes with living benefits.
Mm-hmm.
For example, somebody is still alive, they have a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
They need help with bathing, eating, transferring. Then they get at least two out of the six activities of daily living.
Mm-hmm.
They get part of the money while they're still alive to pay their medical bills, to pay for rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Being in healthcare, I've been in healthcare since I was 18, really, since high school. Money will prolong your life. I mean, ultimately, our lives belong to God,
Yes.
but money will give you a good ending,
Yes.
comfortable ending in
Yes.
this country. Without money, things can get very tough,
Yes.
especially when you're sick. The
Yes.
last thing you want is be sick and broke
Yes.
in this country.
And think about, and I don't know if I should mention it, but the company that I know you and Mama Rhoda and Miss Tony that deals with insurance is
Well, I can't
You can't
really say
mention it.
any, yeah,
We
but
can't really
but
mention-
also
yeah.
we work with multiple companies.
Companies, okay,
Yeah, so we
yeah.
work with a financial literacy campaign, and through
Yes.
that platform, we work with all of the major insurance policies that are out
Yes.
here.
And
Mhm.
and the thing is, I like that because you hear the story of what's this guy in New York, big time billionaire, and I just forget the name. But if you go on Instagram, they compare the two billionaires who now one is not no more billionaire. They and then the Vanderbilts or something like that. I don't know if you've heard that story.
Rockefeller,
And
Vanderbilt.
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So the Rockefeller, he invested in insurance for his family, and that's how you build generational wealth. Because at the moment you put not only yourself but your whole family can be in a life insurance as a universal life insurance, whereby it's not only about catering for when you die, but it's a form of investment that has even better interest than putting your money in a bank account. And that money grows, and after it grows, at some point you who has invested in yourself can go get that money out, the cash value, not the death benefit, and use it for many things, and it gets more interest than and that's what this the Rockefeller did. Part of it was in investing through insurance.
Exactly.
And the other one, they were saying, who did not invest through insurance after he died, the family got broke or got poor.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when we as African people look at insurance, we should not only think about term, let's even think about the universal. Let's think about one that will give you an investment. And for families that have kids going to school, they talk about that universal very much, talking about the fact that, it's money that even if your child goes to a college here in America and they are looking for a scholarship, that money will not be touched, because they have to look everywhere to make sure you don't have extra money. And even though they see money that you have in your life insurance, they can't touch that.
Right.
And therefore they can still give you a scholarship. So if we tell our people, our fellow immigrants, our fellow Africans, our fellow diasporans, that it's not about only the term insurance, you can invest in universal that can give you an interest, that money you can take out, use it for something, you don't have to be dead. That can maybe make the concept change about insurance.
Exactly.
Yes.
So usually our thinking around life insurance is for death, right?
Yes, yes.
But these universal policies are actually for when you're living.
Yes.
It's for the living, where For example, if let's say you have a savings account for your child for school, and I happen to invest or save for my child
Yes.
in a life insurance cash value.
Yes.
If we do the FAFSA form, right? Your expected family contribution is higher because you have money. So let's
Yes,
say you
in
have
the bank
50,000
account.
in the
Yes,
bank.
yes.
So you have to use that, right?
Yes.
Because you have the money, they can see it.
Yes.
But if I have 50,000 in my child's cash value, it's in her life insurance policy.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So then my child can still have a need,
Yes.
get scholarships, and then eventually graduate and can start a business,
Yes.
can buy their first home
Yes.
through that cash value.
Yeah.
Same thing if, and also the good thing about that is it's not directly, well, there are different types, right?
Yeah.
The index universal in particular
Yes.
is not directly in the market. So when the
Uh-huh.
market crash, you don't have that volatility,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Also, any money that grows into a life insurance cash value, as long as you stay within a certain guideline, is not taxed.
Yes.
So other investments, might be taxed depending on where it is.
Yeah.
But your cash value that is growing in your life
Is
insurance
not-
policy,
is not-
if you stay within a certain guideline, is not taxed as
Taxed,
well.
I
So there are
tell you.
so many benefits.
Yes.
The insurance is like icing on the cake.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
It's like
it's icing on the cake, which is very important.
Yeah.
Everybody needs insurance.
Insurance, yeah.
Babies, older, everybody.
Yes.
Children.
Yeah.
Children are investments.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of money raising them.
Yes.
Something happens to them, the insurance covers it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's so much we can talk about this because I feel like this has been a hidden secret from our people.
absolutely.
And when I found out about this, I even if I had time, we would talk more and more about it because it's not as expensive if you can go and spend like $100 a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks eating out and stuff like that. You can put some money to monthly for your life insurance that comes with a cash value, that comes an investment. So I just wanted to finally, before we go to our mother tongue section, what advice do you have for immigrants who are just settling in terms of health and also wealth?
My biggest advice for them is to build a strong financial foundation, which starts with financial education. There are 4 components of a financial foundation.
Yes.
The first thing is the foundation of your financial house is going to be protection, proper protection, life
Yes.
insurance, good health insurance, wills, estate
Yes.
planning.
Yes.
Protect your assets, protect your life, protect your health.
Uh-huh.
The second one is to try not to get in debt, debt management, because
Yes.
all the interest you pay into somebody else, you
Uh-huh.
could be saving that.
Uh-huh.
The third one is having an emergency fund,
Yes.
cutting back on your spending, being disciplined so that you have raining day money. Because
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you, I don't know a lot of people in the United States that I
Yes.
can call, hey, I need 5,000, can you give it to me?
Uh-huh.
And then eventually investment. We have to learn to invest in the proper places,
Yes.
educate ourselves,
Uh-huh.
stop, have a long-term mindset.
Uh-huh.
There's no get rich quick scheme. If you
Please
put,
say that again. Oh Lord, everybody.
There's no get rich quick. Even people who win the lottery,
Yes.
if you notice, a lot of time they don't,
Uh-huh.
they lose the money because
Yes.
they have not
Financial
learned financial literacy.
Yes, uh-huh.
So you have to be able to learn about the system. I mean, the American system that have been set up for over
Yes.
200 and something years.
Yes.
We need to believe in those,
Uh-huh.
educate ourselves, and take
Yeah.
advantage of those.
Yes.
That would be my advice.
Yeah.
Because when you reduce your financial stress,
Uh-huh.
you reduce your health stress.
Yes.
You
uh-huh.
you protect your health.
Yes.
A lot of people, I work in the emergency department,
Yeah.
and a lot of patients that I see sometimes with chest pain,
Yes.
anxiety, when you talk to them, there's always some type of financial component
Yes.
that's causing their issues.
Issues,
Blood
yes.
pressures are off the roof,
Yes.
200 over something.
Yes. Mhm.
They're having headaches and stroke-like symptoms.
Yes.
Stress.
Yes.
And most of that stress is because of financial
Uh-huh.
stress.
Yes.
So my goal, my mission, my passion has been educating for proper financial planning so that you can reduce your financial stress and in turn reduce your overall stress and protect your health.
And also, when he talks about health, stop eating at junk food and cook some fufu and some ugali and some pepper soup at your house.
Yeah.
Because we come here and we start just forgetting our culture and our tradition, and they talk about it so much. Processed food is not good for you. And I
Absolutely.
know how life is because you are a mother. You could be either a family, you are either a single mom, or you are married, but you are working so hard, you don't have the time to cook, or you are a dad, you're working so hard, you don't have the time to make food or prepare. But we need at least, yes, eating out sometimes is okay, but don't overdo it. And yeah,
Absolutely.
because really, our food is our health. And now, before you never used to understand when they say your body is a temple of God.
Absolutely.
And then you say there's something, and then I say to myself, what does that? So if you're eating junk, you are missing your temple, because your body is your temple of God and of your health. So we have to really educate each other about health and wealth.
Absolutely.
And then we'll be winning, definitely. If others are winning, why can't we win?
Why can't we win? And
Yes.
we will increase our longevity.
Yeah.
You are what you eat.
Yes.
And so you are what you
He's
eat.
looking at himself.
So we really have to be mindful of our diet. Life
Yes.
is very busy, and of
Yes.
course it's like you said, the convenience of just eating anything
Yes.
out there. But you have to be mindful, because you
Yeah.
turn around, obesity is at all high.
Yeah.
And with that obesity comes heart disease, comes diabetes,
Yes.
comes high blood pressure, comes cancers. So, and especially for us women, we have young children,
Yes.
so you really have to be more mindful.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just also diet, stress management, because
Yes.
people don't realize it. When you stress, your body's releasing hormones, and these hormones also are creating other issues with your
Yes,
blood pressure,
yes.
with your vessels, in the body, with diabetes, with the increased cortisol level. So we really have to be mindful of what we eat, the mental space that we put ourselves in, putting mental health
Yes.
at the forefront
Yes.
of what we do, learning to take care of ourselves,
Yes.
and just taking care of our health. Your health is your biggest investment.
Yeah.
A good health is your
yeah.
biggest wealth.
Yeah, I find that a lot of us, I don't know, but a lot of us immigrants, we like drama.
We do unnecessary drama.
We like drama, and this drama is. I mean, I can tell you wherever I am, because I'm an artist. I'm very observational.
Yeah.
Wherever I am in a group of, you'll just see Africans. They're arguing. They're they're quarreling. They're yelling. You need peace,
Peace,
because
meditate,
you need your peace. And what I say to myself these days, if the situation ain't working for me, I'm leaving it alone. I need peace,
That's it.
And we try to force things too much, and you can say, go. I like this that says, go where you are celebrated, go where you are loved. And with that, let's go into our proverbs. Tell me some Creole. You can speak in Creole or Mandingo.
Mandingo.
Okay. Say it, and then after translate it and tell us how we can use it.
All right. So I guess one of my favorite ones, they're both from my mom. These are she would always say these. The first thing is that, yes, agbasila iba saye yagbasila gbeleke memba kibule yagbasila wolela. Meaning that when you see a snake, you hit it with the stick that you have in hand. And basically what it means is that you have to take life for what it is.
Yes.
Whatever happens, I can only handle it to my capacity. So, you just got to adjust.
Yes.
So what life is happening to your surroundings.
Yes.
You can only do what you can do.
You
So
can
if I see a
control-
snake
yes,
and whatever stick I have in my hand, that's what I hit it with. I can't
yes.
be like, okay, snake, wait for me. Let me go find another. You got to do what you got to do at that moment.
You gotta only, yes, I like that. Control. You can only control what you can control.
What you can control.
What is out of you is that's the serenity player. God, give me the what do you call the serenity to accept the things
the wisdom to accept the things I can control and let go of things that I can't control.
Yes, it says God give me the serenity to yes, accept same thing. Yes. So that aspect of just saying, if I can control it, I'll do it. If I can't control it, I leave it to God.
And I really live my life by that.
Yes.
I live my life by that. If whatever happens, I'll do my best to control what I can control, and the rest of it, I let go and pray.
Yes.
And I've learned that things will always turn out the way they're supposed to.
Yes.
But as humans, we like to control the outcome.
Let's speak about it.
And we like to control the outcome, and you just
people like me are Scorpio.
Yeah. You can't always control the outcome.
I'm the controller in chief.
Yeah, you do your best.
Yes,
you do your best. You
uh-huh.
prevent as much as you can. You
uh-huh.
do what you can do, but at the end of the day, you let go, you pray, you sleep, you rest, you let God handle the rest.
Yes. What's the other proverb? I like that one.
The other proverb is Nasi ni yemiyela, den lo ninto yela. What a mother can see sitting, a child does not see standing.
I love that one. Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
She would always tell me that. When she tries to advise me and she feels like I'm not listening, she would always say that. You know, my child? And then she would always say that, she said, meaning that a hen will never shake something bad and give it to her cheeks. you know. So
yes.
it's like when your mother is talking to you,
Yes.
she's coming from a place of wisdom.
Yes.
So what she sees sitting, you don't
Yes.
see standing.
Yes.
You know, so yeah. So
Please.
now you know that.
Humphrey has drunk to that.
Yes.
That is so.
So we gotta listen to our elders.
Yes, that is so significant, especially first generation Americans
Yeah.
who their mothers, fathers are here and they're now teenagers and they think that their parents don't know nothing
Exactly.
because you were not born in America.
Exactly.
She still came here 20 years earlier than you.
Exactly.
She's been in this global, universal world more years than you. She knows.
And wisdom from where she's from.
Yes,
Because we come with a lot of wisdom that helps us here.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely. What we see sitting, our kids don't see standing, but they think they know it all.
I tell you, say that again. That was my best. I wish I could say it in your mother tongue. Can I try? Teach me. Say
Try
it.
it. Which one? Which one?
That one. Say it in Mandingo.
Okay. Naye min yela sining,
Naye mi yela sini.
dento yela loning.
Dento yela luli.
There you go.
Sini is sit.
Sitting is sit.
Uh-huh.
So what a mother sees sitting,
uh-huh.
a child does not see standing.
Oh, with that, we are going to take a break and come back and conclude with our show. And this is Asante. This is my song, Asante. Asante means thank you in Swahili. And I just want to say thank you to Nany. Nany, this was amazing.
Thank you.
This was nice.
Thank you for
and
having
I just
me.
want to tell you that, you know, it's not that I've known Nany for a long time. I met her at an event I was performing. She invited me for her birthday. Can you imagine? I was invited for her birthday. It was a nice birthday party, Humphrey. All white. The food was good. Oh my goodness! The pictures. You're gonna see the pictures. I'm putting them on Instagram very soon. And you know, you have such a nice spirit. You are such. And I encourage other women to always go to places and meet other people. I always say this, and I say this when I performed at your birthday.
Which
that,
was
you know,
a beautiful performance,
Oh,
by the way. It was
thank you.
awesome. Everybody loved it.
Thank you. I say this, you know, we women, we go to an event, we see another woman, instead of saying hello to each other, we are always just judging. We are always so fearful. We are always thinking, oh, maybe she, you know, we have our own perceptions about another person that is a stranger. But if you just take that moment to say hello, that's it. You now I have a friend.
I'm glad I said hello to
Yes, I'm glad I responded. Thank you. And with this, let's go to Asante.
Twatoa shukurani kwa yote uliyotenda, ndio maana tunasema wewe ni Mungu Baba. Twatoa shukurani kwa uhai wetu.
Mungu ni upendo, ni imani, ni amani. Mungu anapatikana katika dini zote, iwe Muislamu, Mkristo, Mhindi. Mungu yuko hata dini zetu za kitambo, Mungu yuko pale. Manake Mungu pia ndio yule aliyeumba kila kitu. Alituumba sisi, akaumba wanyama, akaumba mbingu na nchi. Tumpe Mungu shukrani. This has been an amazing, amazing show. I thank God for giving me the wisdom, as we said earlier, sometimes you hear something. This idea of me doing this show, I had it for a long time. And it's like God was poking me. You do. I told you. And I'm like, I'm not busy. I'm busy. So finally, these guys were like, when you going to do it? When you going to do it? And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So, and I'm having fun. So I thank God. I really thank God for me listening to God's voice, for following my intuition, and for having friends like Bandio and Humphrey who just create the studio. It's called the Kilimanjaro Studios, where we can enjoy each other, where we can merging communities at home and abroad. That is actually their motto, merging communities at home and abroad, and where we can also celebrate each other and our diversity. This has been an amazing show. Thank you so much, Nany, Conde, for coming. Thank you for listening to us today. We had a wonderful show. I encourage you to send me your proverbs. We can share them live. Thank you for listening to us wherever you are. We come to you live from the USA and globally all over the world. This is Mama Africa Show. My name is Anna Mwalago, aka Mama Africa. I will be performing. Let me say where I'll be performing. June 16th at our church, St. Martin, for the Juneteenth. So please come down after church or come down and see my band, Afro Floetry Band. Will be over there. And I'm also going to be honored to be performing on June 22nd in Atlanta, honoring Dr. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, or Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And with that, I just want to say, please love yourself, love one another. Till next time, Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I'm out. Thank you.